And that was President Trump yesterday outside of the White House welcoming the NFL Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. Oh. Not a huge fan of them going, not of the team. And what a special afternoon it was. And for people like Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts and some of the others who decided to not partake in the festivities at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue yesterday, quite honestly, shame on you. It's very petty. It's pretty embarrassing. So Donald Trump was pretty hyped. Seems like he definitely enjoys the head coach of the Eagles. He also has seemed to have developed a relationship with superstar running back and former New York Giant, Saquon Barkley. And that all just added into a recipe for success, and just the optics of seeing the team out there, the big smiles, the laughing at President Trump's jokes. And then later on, when some of the coaching staff and players from the Eagles organization wanted to go into the Oval Office, see the Declaration of Independence, and take pictures with the President of the United States. It's not that hard to play the game.
But he made the right decision, because it is a team sport, and there's great people in this team.
Certainly is. I mean, they put it together, made the Super Bowl, I believe, 2 out of the last 3 years, lost to the Chiefs last time, beat them this one. And listen, like I said, when you talk about some of the accomplishments of the first 100 days, it's not having the complete national embarrassment like Joe Biden was when he would actually invite teams to the White House to come visit him. You know, whether he's like muddling around or fumbling through the teleprompter, looking off in the wrong directions, and just being a complete and total asshat like he was. When President Trump invites these teams and organizations to the White House to celebrate their massive accomplishments, it is for the greater good, and it is for the benefit of America, to show there isn't so much distance between the realm of politics and athletics, which are so important in so many different people's homes. There are so many people who love politics, but at the same time have such an involvement with sports, whether it's their kids, whether it's they're like a diehard fan of their teams and things of that nature. And when you have a president who shows up at the NCAA wrestling matches, at the Super Bowl, at big baseball games, at UFC events, it breaks down the barriers where there's like politicians and then there's constituents, where there's congressmen and senators, and then there's people who live in their districts and states. When there's presidents of the United States and all of us here in America first, President Trump doesn't want to put up walls except down on the U.S. southern border. He wants to break them down between his administration and the American people. This has always been one of the most likable and touchable political icons that this country has ever known. And when he does stuff like this and puts a human face on something so polarizing as politics, I think it just makes for good content. So that's why we played some portions of it for you here on the show today, as we're getting ready to wrap and jump in with Congressman Mark Harris, who represents North Carolina's 8th District. We're going to also have another check-in with one of our partners. I think it's time we had a conversation about a good night's sleep. Pillow King of Minnesota, Mike Lindell, and the apparatus known as the MyPillow family has been cranking out savings down at MyPillow for over 20 years. And for the first time in 20 years, they've changed the long-standing MyPillow and now have the MyPillow version 2.0. You enter promo code STEAK at checkout, you're going to get buy one, get one free. In addition to that, they've got great savings on all things like MyPillow dog beds, the Air Lindell version 1 and 2, My Slippers, and Giza Dream Everything. If you're more of a morning person, they've launched My Coffee. It's available in the bean, the bag, and the pod. When you enter promo code STEAK here, you're going to get 25% off your order or 50% off when you make it a monthly subscription. MyPillow.com/steak for anything sleep related. If you want the coffee, MyStore.com/steak, or you can always talk to a qualified pillow representative. 1-800-658-8045. All right, joining us next on the show today, this big Tuesday edition of the Steak for Breakfast podcast. He's the congressman who represents North Carolina's 8th congressional district, which means we're welcoming back Representative Mark Harris. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Well, thank you so much for having me today. I'm excited to be with you.
Sir, always a pleasure to host, and we've got a lot to talk about. Want to lead in today talking about President Trump's first 100 days in office. I think, well, what we covered in the beginning of our show, and what probably is the crown jewel of those 100 days, is the final enforcement of border security. We've seen a complete shutdown at the U.S. southern border, nearly 100% apprehensions, crossings, drug interdictions, etc. It's allowing us to do the things we need to do, get the people who were illegally let into this country under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris apprehended and removed to countries of their origin or other places.